Good day, good day. How y'all doing? It's been a minute since I did a video on this channel. Not much going on in the world of football, and it's just been really slow. This is the dead part of the off season. Instead of rather just putting out content just to, I'm gonna be honest, just to waste time because nothing's going on with the Falcons or Georgia Southern. I just wanted to fall back and probably do a video once a week. So with that being said, let's talk about this really quick. Georgia Southern, they start the season August 31st. So right now, as of today, it is July 2nd. It's coming up really fast. So it's probably going to be a little bit of a dead, zone for the next week. Maybe I'll say next 2-3 weeks, maybe at the end of the month, but things will start picking up. So football season is right around the way. What do I expect? Well, we're going to be playing Boise State in Paulson, and I would love to be at that game. I mean, I know I got season tickets to the Falcons, so I'm going to be pulled in a lot of directions, but I would love to go to that game against Boise State. I don't know much about either team as of yet. It is still early. We still don't even know who's going to be the starting quarterback at Georgia Southern, so it's not much here. But I am excited because a lot of people that I've talked to, not even, in the circle on social media, people that are outside when I be, driving trucks and out running to people, they talk about Georgia Southern or they talk about the Falcons or the Georgia Bulldogs, which I don't talk about the Bulldogs that much. But a lot of people are pretty excited about Georgia Southern's third year. I mean, some people would know that Dexter Williams is going to be the quarterback, is a quarterback at Georgia Southern. You still got J.C. French. You still got a couple other guys who can sling the ball. And with that being said, I think a lot of people who had, somewhat of a bitter taste in their mouth the last season where this team, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, like all seriousness, the Georgia Southern Eagles should have won probably about 10 or 11 games last year. Like, seriously, they should have. I mean, you got to understand, we were 6-2 in 8 games in. We could have won at least 5 of the last 6 if we had better quarterback play, but don't want to talk about that. But that with that saying, people are a little excited because the quarterback play should be a little bit better this coming up season. So Georgia Southern should be in a really good position, even with the tough schedule versus Boise. I think we play Ole Miss this year, and we play Utah. No, we played Nevada. I'm sorry, played Nevada. We do have a fairly tough schedule, but I think it's something that this team that's put together the way it is should be able to make some waves. And for me, I kind of tempered my expectations a little bit. I did say 7 wins this year instead of 8 for the last 2 years. Because I am a bit disappointed. I mean, we ended up winning 6 games the last 2 years, and I'm like, look, can we get 7 this time? Can we get at least 7? And if that 7th win is the bowl win, that'll be even better. But can we get 7? Can we show some improvement? Because even though it was 7, even though it was 6 wins the last 2 years, it seemed like we declined. We went backwards last year. Because we went in a straight, it was a straight losing streak, and it was pretty bad. So, with that being said, I think Georgia Southern should be okay. This game against Boise is going to be a test. Hopefully the power of Paulson will change that. You know how that goes, and I am ready for that. I am really all in. I want to see Georgia Southern get at least 7, but honestly, I wouldn't mind if they go undefeated. But hey, that's a whole nother story. Talking about the Falcons, not much going on there either. Really, it's pretty much the dead part of the season. You look at, of the off season, you look at what's being talked about in the news, not much, and I don't, like I said, I didn't really want to put anything out there just to be filler content. But with that being said, the Falcons have a chance to do something really special. The more you get closer to the season, even though it's not much going on now, you're starting to see like the potential of the Falcons actually winning a lot of football games. Even though we play the Eagles, even though we play the Chiefs, those 2 games are bulletin board games where I want us to get at least one of those games. But other than that, man, we play the Cowboys at home. We got some good games at home where we can actually make a difference. We also play the Steelers, so that's going to be fun to see how that plays out at home. But the preseason is going to be really telling for that as well. I feel like this team could win maybe 10, maybe 11, and I wouldn't be far-fetched to say they go 12-5. I think the Falcons are that good. And I'm not saying that this year because of the hope. I'm just thinking about the talent. I mean, you got players on this team that's ready to go and can make it happen. You got a quarterback that can throw the ball. You got two quarterbacks that can throw the ball. And with the preseason coming up, I wonder how much Michael Penix is going to play, because that's going to be really, interesting to see as well. I'm kind of scared if Michael Penix does very well. People are going to be calling for him to start, even though, Kirk Cousins should be good to go. But it's a good problem to have. But I just feel like the Falcons right now are starting to look like a much more favorable team than people wanted to admit when this whole offseason draft free agency started. People are starting to see like, okay, wait a minute, the Falcons actually can do some things. Like, seriously, the Falcons could really make some things happen if, a few things fall their way. You got to understand, at the end of the day, even with Georgia Southern, you don't necessarily have to have the best team. You just have to have some things that go your way. You just need to have some things just to fall in place. You got to have some opportunities fall into your lap. So it's not necessarily like, oh, the team is bad and we're just going to do it. I mean, that happens if the team is like bad. But if a team is good enough to compete, you just got to have some things to fall your way, because even the most talented teams fall short. It is what even the most talented teams fall short. It happens. I mean, I don't want to talk about another sport in that instance, but look what happened to the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets were way more talented, than, I ain't gonna say they were way more talented than Minnesota, because even though Minnesota had the talent to match, they still were the better team, and Minnesota beat them. You know what I'm saying? Even with Minnesota, when Minnesota went up against Kyrie and the Mavs, talent-wise, you had Luka and you had Kyrie, but that other team, the Minnesota Timberwolves were a better team overall, and they lost. So it happens. So, with that being said, there's no sugarcoating it. You just got to have the opportunities to fall your way. And let's see how it happens. I know that was a bad analogy with basketball, but, football, that's just the way it goes. So hopefully we'll be good enough to compete and just let some opportunities fall. And with Georgia Southern, it's going to be interesting to see if the quarterback play could really be the difference when it comes to them playing Boise State coming up this next month and a half or 2 months or so. So thank you guys for rocking with me, made it this far. I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to be just out here, man. I'm working on the other channel, doing things on the other channel, and everything's going good. But, all right, y'all. I'll see y'all later. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.